Is your dog secretly heartbroken? 10 mistakes. Most owners make your dog can't tell you when something's wrong. No words, no tears, no way to sit you down and say, "Hey, I've been struggling." Instead, they whisper it. A yawn at the wrong moment, a quick lick of the lips, a tail held just a little too stiff. Veterinary behaviorists have identified over a dozen of these silent signals, and here's the hard part. Most owners miss almost all of them. Not because they don't love their dog, because nobody ever taught them the language. Today, we're having a heart-to-heart. We're going through 10 mistakes that could mean your dog is quietly heartbroken right under your nose, and you don't even know it. Some of these will genuinely surprise you. Stick around because number one is the one almost every loving owner is guilty of, and once you see it, you will never miss it again. Let's help you finally understand what your best friend has been trying to tell you all along. Number 10. Dismissing the yawn as just tiredness. You probably think a yawn means one thing, sleepy, but dogs yawn for a completely different reason too. It's called a conflict yawn, and it shows up when a dog feels uneasy, overstimulated, or unsure of what's happening around them. Think about how humans sometimes laugh nervously in an awkward situation. It's not because something is funny, it's a release valve for tension. A dog's yawn works the same way. If your dog yawns during a nail trim, a tense car ride, or a scolding, they are not bored. They are stressed and trying to self-soothe. When we brush that off as sleepiness, we miss the exact moment they needed us to slow down and reassure them. Next time you catch a yawn that doesn't fit the moment, pause. Soften your voice. Give them a break. That small pause tells them, "I see you and you're safe." Number 9. Reading lip licks and tongue flicks as hunger. You're not preparing food. There's no treat in sight. And yet your dog's tongue keeps darting out, quick little flicks against their lips. It's easy to assume they smell something tasty, but this is actually one of the most common stress signals in the entire canine vocabulary. A lip lick during a vet exam, a hug, or a stern voice isn't about food. It's a dog quietly saying, "I'm not comfortable right now." Because it's so subtle, it's the sign owners miss more than almost any other. Start watching for it during everyday moments. Greeting strangers, loud noises, being picked up. When you catch it, you're not just noticing a habit. You're catching your dog in the act of asking for help. Number 8. Ignoring the whisker flare during grooming and vet visits. Whiskers aren't just decoration. They're deeply connected to a dog's nervous system, and they move with emotion the same way our eyebrows do. When a dog is relaxed, their whiskers rest naturally against their face. When they're anxious, the whiskers push forward and flare outward, almost like they're bracing for something. This shows up most during brushing, bathing, ear cleaning, or a vet exam. The exact moments we're usually focused on getting the job done rather than watching their face. Imagine someone holding your arm down to give you a shot while you're visibly flinching, and they don't even glance at your expression. Now, that's what it feels like when we push through grooming without checking in. Slow down. Watch the whiskers. If they flare, pause and let your dog reset before continuing. Number 7. Assuming a wagging tail always means a happy dog. This might be the single biggest myth in dog ownership. A wag is not one universal signal, it's a whole language of its own. A loose, wide, sweeping wag usually does mean joy. But a tail held low and stiff, wagging in short, tight movements or tucked tightly between the legs is the opposite. That's fear. That's a dog bracing for something bad. We've all seen someone walk up to an unfamiliar dog because the tail was wagging, not realizing the dog was actually terrified. If we misread this in our own dogs, we misread their fear as excitement over and over, and we keep putting them in situations that scare them because we genuinely believed they were fine. Learn to read the whole tail, not just the motion. Height, stiffness, and speed all matter. Number 6. Scolding the sniffing and scratching that isn't really about smells or itches. You're in a tense moment, maybe during training, maybe after a correction, and suddenly your dog starts sniffing the ground intensely or scratching themselves out of nowhere. It looks like distraction, It looks like they're ignoring you. So we snap, hey, pay attention. But this is what's called a displacement behavior. It's what a dog does when they feel conflicted or overwhelmed and don't know how else to release that tension. It's the canine version of a person tapping their foot or biting their nails in a stressful meeting. When we scold it, we're punishing our dog for the very thing that was helping them cope. Instead, treat it as information. Something in that moment felt like too much. Back off the pressure and let them settle. Number 5. Forcing socialization because he'll get used to it. Every dog park has that moment. A dog is stiff, ears pinned flat against their skull, body frozen, and their owner says, "Oh, he's just shy, go say hi," and pushes them toward another dog or a stranger anyway. It comes from a good place. We want our dogs to be confident and friendly, but pinned ears and a frozen body are not shyness, they are fear. And forcing interaction on top of fear doesn't build confidence. It builds distrust in the other dog, in strangers, and eventually in you, the person who kept putting them in that spot. Imagine being terrified of public speaking, and every time you froze up, someone shoved you toward the microphone anyway, telling you you'll get used to it. You wouldn't. You just learn that your fear doesn't matter to the people around you. Let your dog opt out. Confidence is built through choice, not through being cornered into it. Number 4. Mistaking anxious panting for excitement or heat. Panting after a run, sure, that's normal. But panting in a cool room during a thunderstorm, in the car, or while just standing still in the living room is a different story entirely. Stress panting tends to be shallower, faster, and it comes with a tense mouth rather than the relaxed, loose-jawed pant of a happy, tired dog. The tricky part is that owners often read this as a good sign. He's excited. Meanwhile, their dog is quietly overheating with worry. Learn the difference between a relaxed pant and an anxious one. If the panting shows up with wide eyes, stiff posture, or pacing, that's not joy. That's your dog silently asking you to help them calm down. Number 3, not giving them time to decompress after something stressful. Vet visit in the morning, a chaotic family gathering in the afternoon, then a walk past a loud construction site in the evening. To us, that's just a busy day. To your dog, every one of those moments adds stress on top of stress, something behaviorists call trigger stacking. And because dogs can't tell you, "I've had enough today," it often ends in what looks like a random meltdown over something small like a doorbell. That outburst isn't random at all. It's the final drop in a cup that had been filling all day. Imagine getting through back-to-back stressful meetings and then snapping over someone taking your parking spot. It was never about the parking spot. After a stressful event, give your dog quiet time to reset before asking anything else of them. Decompression isn't a luxury, it's a need. Number 2, normalizing hypervigilance as just being alert or protective. Some dogs never seem to fully relax. Ears always swiveling, eyes darting to every sound, unable to settle even in their own home. Owners often describe this fondly. He's such a good watchdog. But constant scanning for threats isn't loyalty. It's often chronic stress, a nervous system stuck in the on position, never getting to rest. Picture living in a house where you could never let your guard down, not even to sleep deeply, because some part of you was always waiting for something bad to happen. That's exhausting for a person, and it's exhausting for a dog. If your dog can't settle even in calm, familiar environments, that's not a personality trait to be proud of. That's a nervous system asking for help, through structure, safe spaces, and sometimes professional support. And finally, number 1, the quiet withdrawal. This is the one that breaks hearts the most because it doesn't look like a problem. It looks like peace. Your dog stops rushing to the door when you come home. They stop following you from room to room. They just exist nearby, calm, quiet, undemanding. And most owners think, wow, he's finally settled down. He's such a chill dog now. But sometimes that stillness isn't contentment. It's what's known as learned helplessness. A dog who has simply stopped trying to connect because, in their experience, trying didn't change anything. The excitement was met with a closed door, an ignored request, a distracted glance. So they stopped asking. It's the loudest silence a dog can offer, and it's the easiest one to miss because a dog who's given up looks a lot like a dog who's relaxed. If you have a dog who used to greet you enthusiastically and now barely lifts their head, that's not something to be proud of. That's something to gently rebuild. So there you have it. 10 quiet signals that your dog might be carrying more than they let on. If you recognized your dog in even one of these, please don't spiral into guilt. Guilt doesn't help your dog. Attention does. Here's the good news. Dogs live entirely in the present. They don't hold on to yesterday's missed cues or last week's rushed vet visit. Every single day is a fresh chance to get it right. Start today. Watch for the yawn. Notice the whiskers. Give them the recovery time they need. Let them opt out when they're scared. Small changes in how closely you watch add up to a dog who finally feels understood. Go down to the comments and type your dog's name right now. Let's fill this comment section with the names of dogs who are about to be understood a little better. Starting today, I'll be reading every single one. Thank you for watching, and go check in on your best friend. They've probably been trying to tell you something.